To simplify your life, I mean literally. So we welcome Patty Claire from Keeping It Simple, and every time you come on, I go home, I go like, man, I got a lot of junk here.
Well, you know what? It's very easy. I have a very easy acronym called Simplify.
Simplify. So,
Right.
so we start with Simplify, and the first letter is what?
As that's for start. And like anything, whether you're going to lose weight, you want to stop smoking, you want to start exercising, if you just make that mental commitment to yourself to start, that's 3/4 of the way. So that's the first thing you have to do.
So it's like a commitment kind of thing.
Exactly. And then the I is invest time to think about your goals. And the thing is, you think that it's kind of silly, but you want to decide if you're decluttering or organizing a space in your home, you have to think about, how do I want to use this space? What do I want this room to look like at the end? Because as you're going through all the different things in the room, you're eventually going to come across some things that are really difficult to let go of, and they're emotionally charged. And if you can say, does this item lead to that original goal that I had for how I want to use this space, it makes it a whole lot easier to make decisions.
So you really do have to have a plan. You have to,
Yes, you have to have a plan.
Okay, this does require spelling, so M is
Yes,
next,
and
right?
M is next, and of course part of that plan is actually making the time to do it. It's great to think about it, it's great to commit to start, but if you don't put it on the calendar and block off time to actually begin the project, it's never going to happen. So I encourage people, think of it as an important doctor's, dentist appointment, something. Even if it's 15 minutes a day or 1 hour a week, over time you will definitely see results.
It's almost like you're going to clean the garage a couple Saturdays a year.
Right,
so this one,
right.
you make that, you say Saturday's going to be the day I'm going to do this.
Right, or you do it just maybe an hour a week for 6 weeks.
So are we on the P yet or just on the M?
We're on the P, and that's when the process really begins. You're going to purge, you're going to sort, and you're going to figure out, what am I going to keep, what do I want to sell, what do I want to donate, and what do I want to throw away. You have 4 categories, and hopefully you pick up everything just once and you put it in one of those 4 categories. And then after you've done that, you're now up to L, which is you're going to have only the things that you're keeping now. And that's when you start putting all like items together, because
Like items.
Yes, when they're scattered all over your house, you don't really understand, oh my gosh, I didn't recognize I have 5 ice cream scoops.
Oh.
I have, 3 pairs of black pumps. I have 10 white t-shirts. No matter what it is, and so you start putting them all together, you don't really understand how many you have.
So you reduce them to the 1 or 2 that you want to keep.
Exactly, the ones that you really like, and you decide how many are reasonable to keep. Does my family need 5 ice cream scoops?
No.
So you might decide you're going to keep 2 and let the other 3 go.
Well, I have that problem at my house too.
Yes.
Okay, so simplify F, right?
Yeah, well, actually, you're going to invest in containers, and you're going to find a home for those things. So what you're going to end up doing at this point is, a lot of people call me and say, what do I need to go out and buy? And I say, you need to buy nothing right now, because you don't even know what you're going to store if you need containers to store stuff in. And how do you know what containers to buy unless you know what you're going to store in them? So that's like at the very end, you invest in containers. And then you also want to measure where you're going to put them, because the last thing you want to do is run out to the store, buy 10 containers, and come home and find out that they're either an inch too high or an inch too wide for the space.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't quite go under the
Yes.
shelf. I've done that.
Right,
So,
exactly.
what am I going to do now?
So then you're going to find a home for those things in your house, and you're going to put them in their rightful places. And I tell people, place them in areas that reflect their usage and their frequency of usage. And then the last little sort of tail at the end of the dog is the Y, and it's basically yield and maintain your system. And you may think, oh, this is a great place to put these things, but as you use and maintain the system, you find out, you know what, it's really not the best place for me to have my dishes here, or have the kids' jackets here or something. And if you don't use the system, you will never figure out what works and what doesn't work for you. And so if it doesn't work for you, the likelihood that you're going to maintain it is not going to happen.
Hey, so if people want to talk to you, they go to your website?
Yes.
What's your website?
www.keepingitsimple.ohio.com.
Okay, so you go to somebody's house and you can help them. You tell them, you say, well, do you really need that? I mean, you can sort of guide people to make the right decision.
Right, and once again, if we have that initial conversation about their goals for the room, they actually can talk themselves through it anyway, because then they can say, does keeping this, stuffed animal help me to reach the goal of, trying to find my couch again in the basement?
Good sense, right? Pretty good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, coming up.